Hi there, can you believe we are already in February and it's time for my monthly market update for the 38 to Destin area here in the Panhandle in Northwest Florida. Hello and welcome. If this is the first time you are chiming into my YouTube channel, Sabine Robertson, broker owner of Sea House Realty, and my team and I have helped numerous buyers and sellers sell or buy their home here in the Panhandle. As we're winding up to the busy selling season here in the Panhandle, I always like to compare to the weather, So February we still had some cooler days and some warmer days, but now March and April, it is starting to warm up and a beautiful time to be here in the Panhandle visiting, and that is also where our real estate market typically starts picking up. So in this market update, we are going to be very specific. We are taking a look at today's current active, pendings, and also the last 180 days closed sold listings, and we're going to compare them to last months to see if there's any changes happening right here in front of our eyes. And then also we take a look at what is the average sales price in some of the surrounding cities and communities like Destin, Freeport, Crestview, and Miramar Beach to give you an overall understanding on what you can buy here in the Panhandle at the current time in this market. So before we get started, take one quick moment and subscribe and like my channel so you can stay tuned for future updates. So let's go ahead and dive into some data. So with further ado, let's go ahead and jump at some data. So here is a map of 30A, and we're looking at homes that are currently active south of 98. And here in our local MLS system, we divide 30A into the West End, which is Grayton Beach, all the way to Topsa State Park, or you go Grayton Beach and you go east all the way to Rosemary Beach, including Water Sound Origin. So as of today, February the 21st, we have 930 active listing compared to exactly 2 months ago, we had 877. Pendings are slightly up, 151 compared to 139 back in December. Taking a glimpse at the sold data, last in December we had 658 sold listing in the last 6 months, and as of today we have 591. Numbers are slightly down, but not really anything to make a big difference. So let's go ahead and jump into the absorption rate, days on the market, and let's take a look at the list to sold ratio. Since there is a difference in cost per square foot between 38 East and West, I now narrow and zoom in to 30A West End. I live on 30A, the West End, so I always like to kind of focus a little bit more on that area in terms of cost per square foot. But if you would like me to repair this for you for any other area here in the Santa Rosa Beach area, Destin, Freeport, or Panhandle, just reach out to me and I'm happy to send you that data as well. So back in December, we had 300 active listing, and then in January, we had 309. So basically, really not much of a difference. Now, these reports are only done at the end of the month, so I do not have February reflecting in these graphs. That's why I showed them to you a little bit earlier. Take a look at the average medium list price. So we know that back in September, they start coming down a little bit. So back in September, the average medium list price was at 1.48 million, 30A West End. And if you go down and look at November, December, and January, it is holding its own at 1.4 million. Experts define the absorption rate and how long it would take to sell the current inventory And back in December, our absorption rate was over 9 months. And in January, it went to 10 months. So that signals that it takes a lot longer for your homes to sell in this current market. Take a look at the sale to original list price ratio. And it was kind of steady at 90% back in September, October, November, and it's slowly going back up to like 92%. So if you are a buyer, there is some wiggle room in negotiation still, and if you are a seller, you need to calculate in that buyers will ask and negotiate some of the sales price or closing cost, unless of course you price it accordingly and it hits the market and goes under contract right away. The average day on the market is continuing to rise from November, December to January. So it'll be interesting to see as we're hitting our selling season, as spring break approaches, how these graphs are going to change. Take a quick overview from last year in January of 2023, when our absorption rate was 3.67, and now we're almost at 10 months. That is quite a bit, but look at the prices. They have only come down about 12% from last year to this year. So now let's kind of take a look at the year-over-year comparison report, comparing data for residential from this year to last year. Where were we last year in January? Remember, real estate is local. It also varies from area to area, community to community. So look at these numbers here on 38 East. This year, the average sales price is sitting right at $2,044,000 compared to last year at $2,071,000. Really not much of a difference in price. Now, West End had a little bit more of a price difference. This year, you're looking at the average sales price at $835,000 compared to $1,175,000 last year back in January. But look at Crestview. Crestview prices actually have gone up, and so have Fort Walton Beach. Freeport is continuing to go up, and so is Miramar Beach. Not much difference overall in prices, and if you average all the communities and cities together, we actually went up in average sales price. Well, I hope you enjoyed this market update. As you can tell, the last 3 months prices have gone down a little bit, and they're steadily sitting there. Sellers are still not really dipping down in prices, and buyers are still hesitant because they are watching those interest rates. But stay tuned, because those interest rates are supposed to drop. And once they start dropping, mark my word, buyers will come in. So if you have any questions about buying right now in this current market or listing your property, please reach out to me. There's a link below in the email. I will give you a call back. If you want any other market updates about any other areas close to the 38 area, let me know, and I'm happy to send that over to you. Have a wonderful day. Until the next time, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and goodbye.